I'm Daniel D'Amato, number 17 for the Erie Otters.
All right. So my first question is, who were some of the people that helped you push yourself to where you are today?
Well, I think it's kind of like the same for every hockey player. I think you have your trainers, the people that train you in the gym, your on ice trainers, your skills instructors. But I think like the biggest people that help us and have helped me in my career have been my parents, grandparents. There's been times where my parents can't drive me to games or practices, so my grandparents gotta help them out, and they did a lot. And a few other people, like my brother, he plays too, and although he's younger than me, he pushes me, and we have sort of a competitive little rivalry between me and him. So he pushed me to do better. I want to be better than him. He wants to be better than me. So we push each other. So I think there's a lot of people that help us. I think there's not just one, two, or three people. Like I said, skills instructors, gym trainers, coaches. They're a big one. We have a lot throughout our career, but they do a really good job with development and making sure we're ready for the next level. And yeah, just pretty much. I know you guys have done other interviews, and I'm sure the kind of the same people get thrown out there. So I think those are the main ones that propel us and keep us moving in our career for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for Max and I, it's a bit different. So, like, we just have like a goalie coach and then a gym trainer, and just our normal coaches help us out, but they're not nearly as impactful as like our goalie coaches, because they're the ones that help us like develop skills that we use all the time in games. Of course,
yeah.
Yeah, and definitely pairs. I guess like for me and Max, like teammates also, because we sometimes rely on them for carpools and things like that.
Absolutely, yeah, teammates for sure. Like I know you guys, as you guys move forward, you're gonna see that teammates come and go. There's a lot of friendships that you make that unfortunately you move on or they move on, and you lose that kind of friendship. Not lose it, but you get a little bit distant. But for sure, teammates are huge. Line mates, goalie partners, just your teammates in general. They help you a lot. It's after all, it's a team sport, right? So you need your teammates to do well and succeed.
Definitely.
Yeah. My question is, if you could give any tips to a younger player, what would you tell
them? I would say just believe in yourself, believe in your ability, because at the end of the day, I think if you want to succeed, or if you want to do anything, if you want to get to the next level, I think if you don't have that belief in yourself that you're good enough or that you can play at the next level, then it's going to be really, really difficult, because when you don't believe in your abilities won't show people, or they won't translate to the ice of what you can do, right? But when you believe in yourself and you know that you can do something really well, whether that's, making 30 saves, whether that's, scoring, whether that's making plays, defensemen being hard to play against, if you believe in your abilities and you're a good player, that will translate onto the ice, and it will give you more confidence. And confidence is what you need, because without that confidence, it's hard to, believe in your skills and do the things that make you successful on the ice. So I would say just believe in yourself and believe in your abilities, because, you guys are playing, high level. I know that, you had to get there for some reason. You guys have skill, you guys have the ability. So just believe in that, and, you can do anything you put your mind to. You just got to believe in yourself.
Yeah, like you basically hit everything.
Yeah, it's more like, for me, people will ask me the question, like they'll ask me that, and it's not, I don't look at sort of a thing like, oh, you gotta, what's one tip? Work on your skills. Like, I don't really. It's good to work on your skills, but I've looked at more of a mental side to my game during COVID, and try to improve my mental game, because I think that's bigger than skills. I think that's bigger than all that, because it starts with believing in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, there's no way you're going to get better. you need that belief in your own ability from the start. So that's why I think that's the biggest thing, personally, if I want to give any advice.
I think quarantine did that to everyone. Where like
Yeah, for sure.
like their mental state, especially like if they play sport like hockey, where like being in the right mentality helps you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Like during the season, I had I think like 7 or 8 shutouts in 10 or 11 games.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I would have never done that in previous seasons. I would have definitely not had that mental capacity or like mental skill.
Yeah. Do you feel like COVID, just the time, because I'm sure you guys were off for a little bit because of just certain things. Did you feel like that kind of gave you that ability to work on things outside of on ice skills and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think Max had like pauses. Max, did you have pauses because of quarantine?
No, we got lucky.
Oh, you just played.
We had I think like 2 or 3 times where we had to cancel or where we had to
for
2 weeks. And what we just did it, you just take a break from hockey, just like take a 2-week break and just relax, unwind, do some workouts on your own, and just prepare for the next game that's in 2 weeks. Like you got to rest.
Yeah, for sure. I've been going through that for a while now. So
yeah. My next question is, how does it feel to be drafted 4th overall by the Otters in 2018?
Well, it was a weird and kind of not a road that everyone takes. I was drafted in the U18 draft, so it would be not my first eligible year draft for the OHL, but my second. So I played minor midget. I didn't get drafted in minor midget, which is the year that usually there's the 15 rounds, but I played midget the next year, and that's when I had a really good year, and that's when Erie kind of took notice, and I think it was cool for me, and it felt good because in my minor midget year I got injured, and I missed a big chunk of that year, so couldn't really showcase my abilities. I also wasn't on a very good team, which didn't help. So there wasn't a lot of exposure to scouts and that kind of stuff. But it felt good knowing that I put in a lot of work after my injury that summer. I think I got hurt in December, so I broke my femur. So it was like a 4-month recovery process. And whenever, like, as soon as I was able to walk and sort of do that again, I got into training right away, rehab training, and it was I think it was from April to, I would say maybe mid-March to August until I had to go back to Erie, until I went to Erie that year when they signed me. So it was a long process, but it felt really good because they drafted me, and then they drafted me in midget, and then I felt good about the way I played in midget for the Vaughan Kings, and they drafted me, and I still you kind of don't know if you're going to play on the team. You don't know if you're going to sign because they take a lot of players in the draft that year for the O2s, but they wanted to sign me, so it was huge. It was big for me. It gave me a lot of confidence. It gave me that feeling that an OHL team has confidence in me to play on their team. So it was awesome. It was like I said, an unconventional path, not a path that everyone takes, but we all have our own paths. We all have to do the things. There's going to be obstacles in our life, but it's the way you deal with them. And I think I deal with it pretty good, and I was able to get a pretty good opportunity out of it. So I'm grateful for that.
Oh yeah, that's really cool. Max, what's your next question?
Yeah, so while we're talking about the OHL right now, what was it like scoring your first OHL goal?
Yeah, I remember like it was yesterday because it took me a while to score my first goal. In my first year, I think I scored on my I think it was the 28th game of the season. I'm pretty sure, and it was in Flint. It felt really good because it took so long. it was a long time coming. There's, you know, throughout that year, a lot of chances that I had, and it felt like I just, you know, some bounces weren't going my way, a little bit unlucky in there. But yeah, to get that in Flint, I remember having a talk with my coach, and you know, he just basically said to me, "Don't worry about it too much. Don't think about it. Just play. You know, just play. Good things will happen." And sure enough, that night, that's what we did. We were winning 8-2, and third period comes along. There was, you know, I was on with my line mates, and pass comes to the point. I just simple hockey, went to the net. The shot from the point, there was a rebound. My line mate shot it back on net. It squeaked through his arm a little bit. It was like rolling towards the goal line. Sure enough, I was just there to put it in. So it was kind of like an easy goal, but, you know, just simple. And it felt really good because it took so long for me to get that first one. But, you know, it felt good for sure.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has that like feeling where like you remember your first goal, or I guess for Max and I, like you remember your first shutout. Like I remember my first shutout like it was yesterday. It was like 3-4 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's the same feeling for like a first OHL goal, first shutout. I'm sure it's the same for goalie players. So.
Yeah, definitely. And how is it playing with some top end talent like Jamie Drysdale for the last few seasons? Since I know you definitely play with Jamie Drysdale. I don't know.
Yeah, so he is, you know, he, like everything. The reason why he's where he is and playing the NHL right now is because he's that good. Like he is, you know, you guys don't get to see practice. Like I know people watch games and you know, you're kind of limited to some of the stuff you do in games because it's a game. There's, you know, you want to sort of play the right way. There's kind of limitations if you guys understand that, but
yeah,
in practice, like he plays very freely, and there's not a lot of limitations in practice. And the stuff he does is incredible. Like his skating is like way above anyone else's. It's, you know, the way he moves, his shot is really good. A lot of his game is at that level already, at that NHL level. So you can just imagine, like, for him, like playing at the OHL level, to me, I feel like for him, it felt like, you know, he was kind of almost stooping down to everyone's level almost. It's like he was coming down to our level when really he could have been playing at that level. That's how I feel, because the way I saw him, the way some of the stuff he did in games, practices, like I said, it was, you know, some of the stuff was eye opening because I never seen some of the stuff that he did before. So it was crazy to see. And that was kind of the first time I played with someone at that level. So it was, like I said, eye opening. It was really cool to see some of the stuff that, you know, he would do, just the way he plays the game. It's really fun to watch, honestly.
Wow. Yeah. I guess goalies like also have that because your job in practice is to work on stuff that like you're not 100% confident on. So like pushes, angling, stuff like that. So of course you're gonna let in goals, but goalies are a lot different in games. And I guess like, and we have limitations. Definitely, like personally for me, I don't play the puck in games, but I do it all the time in practices.
Yeah, you have more of that. There's less pressure in practice because that's kind of like, you know,
yeah. But that's really cool that you got to play with like Jamie Drysdale. Like he's in the NHL right now. He's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool to see that, you know, and that you're friends with someone who's at that level and you know them on a personal level. It's a cool feeling for sure.
Yeah, Max, what's your third question?
Yeah. Has there been ever a single player or coach on your team that's made like a huge impact in your game, like where you are now?
I think a lot of people have made a huge impact. Maybe if one particular person I think was Wes Wolf. He was our assistant coach last year and the year before, so my first 2 years in the OHL. And he actually just got hired to be the assistant coach for Coburg Junior A in Ontario. So he's not our coach anymore, which was, you know, it was kind of a shitty thing to hear because I liked I liked him so much. I liked his coaching, and that's one guy I think that helped me develop my game a lot, because he was our forward coach and I'm a forward. So he worked with us a lot, but he put a lot of time and effort into me, whether it was showing individual video, taking me aside in practice and, giving me pointers, heads up. And honestly, it goes kind of beyond hockey too. I think he was a good friend. I think he, there were times where, there's non-related hockey stuff that goes on in your life and you need someone to talk to. I think he was a coach that you can do that. I think all of our coaches are, but me and him more had that connection more because he was a forward coach and I was more familiar with him. So I think that's someone that's helped me a lot. And he still helped me this summer, even though he got this new job. He's helped me still, and I thank him for that. He's helped me a lot for my game for sure.
He sounds like a great guy.
Yeah, no, he is a great guy. He's very he was always around the players. Like he was kind of like one of the guys almost, but there was he still separated that line from one of the guys and a coach. And that's what he did so well, is that although we felt like he was one of the guys, we knew that he was our coach. And, there's things that you don't do with the guys you do with your coach, right? Like, there's that line, and he definitely, made sure there's that line, but at the same time, he always made time for us. He was always around us, and that made us feel good because, you like when your coaches are relatable. You like when your coaches are easy to talk to. It makes things easier for everyone.
Yeah, 100%. That's definitely the case for my coaches. Like my head coach pulled me aside a couple times. He's like, "This is what you should focus on. This is what you need to work on." By the way, he said this like I think almost a week ago. Don't go on spring break. You're gonna have to quarantine. You're missing the playoffs. I'm gonna call your dad at 10:30 p.m. tonight to stop you from packing for your trip.
Yeah.
Like he
I think that also just shows, how important you are to the team, right? He doesn't want to lose someone that's important to a stupid quarantine, stupid reason too, right? That's something that's avoidable. So I'm sure he made sure that you didn't do that.
Yeah. My last question is, what are your goals for the coming years and how do you plan on achieving them?
That's a good question. I think definitely something I put a lot of thought into because it's, it's my future. So I do put a lot of thought into it. I think it'll start for whenever we get playing again. And that's just, making the most of the opportunity that I'm going to get. And, we lost a lot of guys this year. We lost our 3 of our 4 or 5 top scorers. So like for me, I know there's going to be a lot of opportunity coming back to Erie, and I think I'll be looked at as one of the go-to guys. And I need to, that's just something that I need to take advantage of. It's an opportunity for me that, I can get the chance to produce points, play against the other team's best players, play in all situations. And if I can do that, if I can take advantage of that and do all the things that I said, I think that will, lead to an NHL contract, maybe drafted as a late entry, maybe an AHL contract, maybe interest from Europe. But I think it's just plans. There's just plans I just want to play pro hockey, whether I get a chance to play in the AHL, the NHL, in Europe. My goal is to play hockey for as long as I can and, make money. But I think it's not really about money. It's just about doing something that you love. And that's the big thing. And, if whenever we play, maybe we don't play this year, maybe we do. If we don't play this year, I do have an overage season. And same thing, if I go back there, I'll be looked at as one of the older guys, a leader, a go-to guy. Like I said, take advantage of that, make the most of that opportunity. Good things will happen. Just enjoy the process. So I think that's just kind of my thought process going into the next few years of my hockey career.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Max, what's your last question?
Yeah. Is there any NHL player that you like to watch and compare yourself to based off like style or how they play the game?
Yeah, it's hard because we actually have done like guys look at themselves and they'll look at players that they like, and they believe that, and they want to think that they play like the players that they like. Some for guys in our team, we had our coaches give us player comparisons, and for some guys, like it wasn't even close. Their play, like who they thought they played like, and who the coaches thought they played like, it was kind of like a back down to earth moment for them, because some of them put really good players, and you got to be humble sometimes. I think that was their fault for, comparing them unrealistically to someone. But for me, a player comparison that they gave me was Anthony Duclair. And I don't know, I'm sure you guys are familiar with him. He's, pretty good player. He's, played on the World Junior team for Canada. He's kind of bounced around a little bit from team to team lately, but he's a guy that has proved that he can produce points. Bigger guy, good speed. I think that's a couple similarities between me and him is our speed, scoring ability, kind of our size is the same, our stature. So after they told me that, I kind of been keeping tabs on Duclair. I'll watch his games when I have the chance, and just to see, because if they see that he and I play alike, then there's something there for sure, right? So I try to put in a little bit of emphasis on making sure I watch him, and seeing the good things that he does. He's a good player, so I think that was a huge compliment. And I think that if that answers your question, I think that's someone who I think, and who's someone that people think I can compare myself to, and who I play like.
Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, I mean, as a Rangers fan, Duclair, good player. I think he played when I was around like 10 or something, and then he got traded for, I forgot who, but he got traded.
Yeah, he's a good player. I think he just needs more of an opportunity. I think that's something that he needs to build for himself more.
Yeah.
But I just think he needs that one person that believes in him, and gives him that steady opportunity. I don't think he's had that chance yet. So hopefully that comes from him, because he's a good player, like I said, and we'll see what happens.
100%. So I don't have any more questions. Max, you have any more questions?
No, that was all of mine.
All right. So thanks so much for this interview, Daniel. Great having you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It was fun. I like doing this stuff. Don't got a lot going on. I like talking hockey. I like talking about me. I like giving you guys advice. So I appreciate you guys having me on. It was fun. It was a good interview. You guys do a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.